has been nearly 2 months since Tamashii has graced us with a Dragon Ball release with inside S.H.Figuarts. Well, that changes today with its official announcement and your first look at King Cold. And in this video, guys, we're going to discuss everything you need to know about King Cold. We're going to talk about everything he comes with, how much he is, where you can get him, and these mixed signals we keep getting about a throne. Well, guys, I am Snook, and let's go ahead and jump right into the first photo of King Cold. Well, the first photo that we're going to kick it off with is going to be a close-up of him in his crossed arms. Here it is, like you guys can see on the screen. There are only two things I want to point out inside this photo, and it is going to be that right there, which is his cocky face. He is the father of Frieza. Frieza is very arrogant, and where do you think that comes from? This man right here, King Cold, have to have that smirk face that fits the character perfectly, and that's what we're looking for when we buy these premium figures. Yes, functionality, yes, articulation counts, but it's really about the likeness and how they can capture that anime inside this figure form. The next thing, let's go ahead and clean that up, is going to be the crossed arms. This is almost a staple for bad guys. They kind of stand there. Again, it kind of goes with the smirk. It kind of goes with a mad face of them just crossing their arms and really showing dominance. So that's going to be addition. This is going to be a much bigger figure than you guys expect. He is going to come in at 220 millimeters. That's roughly 8.6 inches. Going to be an absolutely massive figure. To give you a real taste of the size of this figure when you put it up next to the Mecha Frieza upcoming. Well, that's the only thing I want to show you in this photo, so let's move on to the next of King Cold. So taking a look at this next photo, guys, it's going to be just a full body shot from the first photo. That first one is just a zoom in so you can really see the details in his face and really get to know the character and how accurate he is to the anime. And this really is going to show you the entire height of this figure, the entire 8.6 inches of this figure. Why I put my line so far up, I do believe the 8.6 inches is going to calculate off the top of the point of the figure. I would be very surprised if they actually counted off the top of the head. They usually don't do that, especially when it comes to other figures like Goku's and stuff, Super Saiyan. They always take the highest point of the hair, and I think that is the case here. Now, I don't believe this distance is going to be very much, but I just want to point that out, that it is the entire top of the horns for the height of the figure. So let's go ahead and clean this up. And the other thing I want to point out outside of parts in this is, yes, if you guys can notice on this cape, it is a rubberized cape or a hard cape. This is not going to be the cloth cape like you're used to seeing in the Gohan that is upcoming. I believe the reason for this is because this one was actually in production prior to the Gohan. Plus, I don't think they're fully invested into cloth or soft goods into these figures yet. They are trying it here and there with other figures in the line. They're doing it with Gohan and the Dragon Ball Z. They're doing it with Makima and her jacket from the Chainsaw Man line. So I don't think Tamashii is fully into soft goods. That's why I believe this guy is going to be that standard rubber or hard plastic cape that you see before, rather than the soft goods. The other thing I want to point out in this photo, is clean that up, is going to be these feet down here. These are the flat feet. I expect later in the photos we'll get those flying feet or those clenched feet as well, but we only see these feet in here. But that's pretty much in this photo, so we are going to clean that up and give one final look at how massive this figure is, and we're gonna move on. So taking a look at the third photo in this release of King Cold, is going to be this one right now. It's going to be a little bit of a dynamic pose. He is just still standing there, which makes me worry a little bit about his mobility, but even though he is big, he is stoic, and he looks fantastic. So the one thing, we've got the open clasp hand, and we've got a fist. I'll move that there, and you can tell right there, still the smirk. So only an open clasp hand and a fist new in this photo, still the flat feet, but I'm hoping in later photos, we'll get a better look at that. All right, guys, so here is the next photo of him flying towards the camera and showing his dominance. Now, there's not a lot new going on in this photo, which kind of starts worrying me when it comes to accessories, faceplates, and all that. It's still, guys, that same smirking faceplate, so that's kind of lackluster. We get the right and left fist as well, so we get an extra fist. That's the only thing I see new in this photo, but it does give us a little bit more of detail on the top of his shoulder. shoulders. Let's clean this up a little bit so we can see them shoulders. And I just want to point out the great detail of the cape draping over the Saiyan armor. Looks really great. I think the detail is up to par. He looks like King Cold, and I think he's gonna be great in your diorama with Trunks and Mecha Frieza. So diving into the next photo of King Cold, it's going to be an action pose with a weird accessory choice. And we're taking a look at it right here, guys. He still has his flat feet, not those curved flying feet I expected. So are we not getting those? Being this deep into the photos and still not seeing those feet kind of get me worried about accessories. We get 2 hands that can hold a sword. You would think, yes, if you're just taking a look at this photo, yeah, that's Trunks' sword, guys. That right there, that is Trunks' sword. Do you think, oh, maybe they just took it out of the Boy from the Future, popped into this one so you could see how it looks next to him? No. That's the weird part about this photo. He comes with a Trunks sword. Why? I don't get why he's coming with a Trunks sword. The weird thing too is, are they playing off the whole gag of the scaling issue with the anime? Because when Trunks attacks King Cold, it's an enormous sword, but when he's holding it, smaller. So maybe they included this to play on that scaling issue from the anime and be a little tongue-in-cheek with it. But again, weird choice. Why do we need the sword in this figure? We get a new face, guys. We get a grimacing face. Looks great. Here's that cape again. Oh, we actually haven't even talked about this. There's his tail. He comes with the tail. He is Frieza's father, but we get that ball joint there. There's probably a ball joint right there on the back. So pretty typical articulation in the tail that we're used to with the other, 10 other Friezas that we've gotten. So that's all I have to say about this photo, so let's move on to the next one, see if we get some more accessories. And guys, if you're enjoying this video, put a like on the video. It definitely helps out the channel. Get this video out to new collectors that need to know about upcoming Dragon Ball and other S.H. Figuart releases. And if you're enjoying this content and you want to see more of it, definitely hit the subscribe button and add this channel to your collection. Well guys, here's the last full body picture of King Cold, and it is another action pose. Again, weird accessory choice in my opinion. The sword holding hand again, which we saw in the previous photo. We've seen those fists. We've seen these feet. So the only thing new in this photo is going to be that right there. It is going to be a yelling or screaming face. So I have only counted 3 different faceplates from all these photos. We have the grimacing face, we have the smirking face, and we have the yelling face. So not a lot of expression in this figure, and the hands are kind of lackluster. We've got the open palm hand, the 2 sword holding hands, and the fists. Weird, and only 1 set of feet. Odd choice. So we need to talk about the weird talk about a throne. We're getting a lot of mixed signals from Tamashii and no clarification quite yet on what is happening with this throne. They say we're gonna get a seat, they kind of say we're getting parts. So let's analyze the facts and talk about what you actually think. Are we getting thrones or are we getting parts? Here is from the official website from the release of King Cold. Right here it says, what's more, we have even included parts for the seat he has sat in when he first appeared in the series. What does that mean? What do you mean parts? And why I mean this parts makes me think, are we getting one part of the seat, like an arm, the back, the seat, the other arm? Is this gonna be a Build-A-Figure option? Because the weird thing is the mixed signals. Let me show you this tweet from Tamashii themselves over on their X account. So here's the tweet from X that I want to point out. King Cold comes with a different facial expressions and his iconic chair to recreate his first appearance in the series. So I've got the tweet of X saying he's coming with a seat. I've got the official website where you can buy this figure saying that it's coming with parts for the chair. Which one is it, Tamashii? You gotta clarify so we know what we're buying. What are your guys' thoughts? Are we getting the chair? Are we getting parts? Just going in to kind of get that out there that we don't know when you go to pre-order this figure if we're getting the chair or if we're not getting the chair, and that should be a huge telling if we do or don't when it comes to the price of this figure. And guys, here's this mock-up. I don't know if this is an official photo, but this is a size comparison between King Cold and Mecha Frieza sitting in his throne. I don't know if this is a mock-up or an official photo, but it looks really great, and I hope the scaling is right on par. Now let's deep dive into the big nitty-gritty. How can you get them, and how much is this figure? So guys, we gotta talk about the place before we talk about the price, and I know you guys don't like this, but we gotta talk about it. The official release is going to be premium Bandai. I know that hurts a lot of you out there, but I do need to cover it for those new collectors out there, and I won't spend a lot of time on it. Premium Bandai is an online retailer that sells exclusive Dragon Ball and other anime figures online. If you want to pick up your King Cold, you have to go to Premium Bandai at the United States or Japan to pre-order this figure. And guys, right here on the channel, we are an affiliate with Premium Bandai, so if you want to pick up your King Cold, go down in the description below, pick up your King Cold. It doesn't cost you a thing, it just helps support the channel. Also guys, we need to discuss the big thing and why I say does it matter if it comes with the throne or just parts, because this guy is clocking in at one of the biggest prices to ever grace the Dragon Ball Z line. Yes, even outpacing the Metacooler $120 price tag at $150. This guy is going to be very, very pricey, so I think that throne really does matter if it's coming with the figure or it's not. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you guys going to get your King Cold? Are you gonna get from Premium Bandai? Is this one you're going to skip? Let me know. Shout out down in the comments below. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I have been Snook. I'll see you in the next one.